Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Tuesday, April 17th, 2012. There's a lot to cover, so we're going to jump right into the charts. We'll start off first with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You will see that they are trading higher by about 8 points, 8.25 points, getting a little bit of a pop right here. So decent little move on the futures. You'll see that the futures started to rally up around 2:30 in the morning, and ever since then are trading right off the highs of the day. So decent little pop here on the futures, trading up around 7.5 to 8 points at the moment to 1371.75. So again, yesterday was a mixed bag of tricks in the markets with the Dow Jones surging 100 points, with the Nasdaq Composite moving lower by 23 points. But nonetheless, you're seeing the futures up this morning really across the board. Few things to go over real quickly. One last night in the Asian markets, very, very important to always follow Asia. The Nikkei, the Hang Seng, and the Shanghai were all lower. The Nikkei was basically flat. However, the Shanghai index was down close to 1%, and that is something that should be watched very closely. Also, last night in the Asian markets, you did have the Indian Sensex surge higher. It was up by, I believe, 1.2% last night. After India central bank cut rates. So they cut rates last night, and despite high inflation, still cut rates to increase growth. And you got a decent pop over there in India. So we'll watch a lot of the Indian ADRs today. If the U.S. markets are strong, the Indian ADRs may be strong as well. Stocks like Tata Motors, Infosys, they could all be movers here. The IFN, that could be another one. That could all be movers here today. So watch the Indian ADRs this morning if the U.S. markets remain strong. If the U.S. markets start to fade or sell off, likely that it's very likely that the Indian ADRs won't do all that much. So we'll have to watch those closely. But India last night did cut rates, and their index was the one Asian market that was higher by 1% last night. All the rest of the Asian markets were lower, and as I said earlier, the important Shanghai index was down by nearly 1%. I think it was 0.9%. So watch that, but it all depends on the U.S. markets. If U.S. markets are strong, Indian ADRs could be possible runners today. So we'll have to see how that plays out a little bit later. A couple of other things to go over today. You're getting a pop in oil. Light sweet crude is up $1 to 103.91 a barrel. Take a look here at the USO, which closed yesterday at 98.18. It's trading up around it closed yesterday at 39.18, and it is trading at 39.55 a share. So decent little pop there in the USO. Gold is also getting a little bit of a bounce today. Gold futures are up $5 right now to 16.55 an ounce. We'll take a look at the GLD. We'll see how the GLD is looking. You can see the GLD is trading up a little bit here to $160 and $87 per share. Yesterday closed at 160.46. So market's up, gold is up, oil is up, and everything's inflating. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index, which is down a little bit. Not down all that much, but it's down decently. You can see the dollar topped out right here at 2:30 in the morning. That's exactly when the stock market bottomed out. As soon as the dollar started to fall lower, the market caught a bid. Keep the U.S. dollar index up at all times. Those of you that don't have a chart of the U.S. dollar index can use the UUP. It will emulate the dollar usually, especially after the opening bell. So watch that one. But a chart of the U.S. dollar index is really what you want to follow each and every day as the markets trade inverse to the dollar. Okay, let's talk about a few stocks that are out there this morning. I'm going to start off with the big boy, Goldman Sachs, everybody's favorite investment bank. You could see that the stock reported earnings. I'm not sure what the earnings were. I really don't care. But came down to the 115 level. This level was tested. This was the low from, I believe, April 10th. And it held, and you got a nice little big bounce up, trading at 116.68. Still negative on the session, but not by much. So it's just down about 90 cents or so from yesterday's close. Traders, I wouldn't make too much out of this. If we take out the 115 level on a closing basis at some point, or if we take out the low from April 10th, which was 114.45, then this stock could trade down to the 110 level. However, I just don't see it happening on a day like today. It's options expiration this week, and There's a lot going on out there. The institutions will play a lot of games historically during the week of options expiration, so I'm not going to make too much out of Goldman's earnings today. As long as it stays above the 114.45 level, the stock could just bounce around. Watch for pattern intraday, and that's really all you could do. Let's take a look at Coca-Cola. I believe they had earnings as well. Stock is trading up to $73.23. Closed yesterday at $72.44. So a decent little pop for Coca-Cola. Nothing I would do with it here, but looks okay. Holding in there, but there really is no trade on this one at the moment. I'm not sure it gets much above the $74 level at this moment, but there really is no trade there. Let's take a look at LNG. LNG is Cheniere Energy. Looks like they're going to be making some natural gas terminals. So again, this stock started out higher but has faded since that point. But nonetheless, it's still trading around the $18.20 level. That's a decent little pop up. The stock, believe it or not, has upside to around 1930, somewhere around there. But I don't expect it to get much higher than 1930, 1950. So watch for pretty good resistance in that area. Let's take a look at Starwood Hotels. STWD, I believe, is the ticker, if I'm not mistaken. Starwood Hotels sold off yesterday after the close. Today it's getting a little bit of a bounce up. The stock still has very good support around the $20.21 level. Make it $20. Just make it $20 even number. And then you're going to have more support at $19.63. And then the next support level will be at $19.17. Those are all your bounce levels. So 20 bucks, 1963 and $19.17. Those are all your intraday bounce levels. Don't expect much, but those could give you some intraday bounces. Don't stick around too long. Okay, that's pretty much it on my radar today. I don't see all that much out there. There are a few other things moving, but not seeing all that much. So once again, we'll flip back to the futures. You'll see them trading off the highs a little bit here, still up about 6.5 to 7 points. And we'll just keep it on the radar here. Looks like March building permits and housing starts are out. Housing starts are down 5.8% for the month of March versus 2.8% for February. Who really cares about the news? We only care about the reaction. And the markets are still hanging in there pretty well today. So again, be a little bit cautious this week as it is options expiration. A lot of institutional game playing will take place, but nonetheless, decent little pop for the markets to start off the day, and we'll see how they hold up after the opening bell rings. Once again, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all for listening today, and we'll do it all over again. See you on the charts tomorrow. Take care, everyone.